Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is G. You're watching Allastrology. This is your week of August 24th. And the following 7 days, lots of color, big week. And did I mention there's an eclipse? We're going to start off at the very beginning. It has to do with work, jobs, the details. And we're always striving for perfection here. We can be hyper focused on the details. Boss energy, the sun. This is how I feel energized when I'm participating in Virgo things, to-do lists, schedules, projects. Domestic, right, in the house, domestic energy feels better when it's doing something. I don't want to say it's nervous energy, but it kind of is. Mercury rules it, and that's the nervous system, literally. I should be doing something that can be making improvements and serving in some way. It's logical, it's practical, it's tangible, a beautiful energy to get things done. So this sun energy is going to meet up with Uranus energy this week. It's already squaring it right at the beginning of the week. This is stress and tension. This is a clash, because both of these are powerful. Uranus is the boss, and so is the sun. And it's Mercury at both ends. Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo. So this makes this a tricky time. It's like a balancing act, trying to maneuver, trying to stay focused. And Gemini loves to do 1,000 things at once, right? But Virgo's like, oh, wait a minute, damn it, you can't do it that way. That's wrong. That's going to make it all messed up. Virgo's rooted in earth. So it can really see tangibly. It can connect the dots. Remember, it literally is a person that walks in and it's the fixer. Whereas this energy has a lot of different ideas, but they can be scattered, you see? So when it's Uranus energy, the boss, this is where the frustration steps in, because each thinks that, well, they're the boss. So this stress and tension lasts the entire week. Mercury is going to be part of the picture. So here's Mercury right at the beginning of the week, conjunct the South Node. This is Leo energy, fun, laughter, play, feeling like a kid, feeling confident, right? There's a mixture of the future energy and optimism all blended in here, the health of the future. This can be highly romantic energy. Here, Mercury is talking to the South Node, and that talks about choices, having to make a decision, some sort of an option that's present. Normally, the South Node asks us to let go of the past, to release something or someone. South Node's usually a pretty big deal. Remember, this is all in a big grand fire trine in the chart. This is trining the galactic center, which is usually like Supreme Court and judges and stuff like that. But this may be you just releasing something about your life. Maybe literally, if you create, maybe you're releasing something you created. Maybe you've sold it. Maybe you're just completely done with it, or you're not creating in that way anymore. There's something we're saying goodbye to. These can be parents who are saying goodbye to a loved one who's going off to school, a child who's, going on to higher education. It's the goodbye energy. What we're going to have is Mercury traveling along and connecting and catching up with the sun. It's in a square, strong square with Uranian energy. So you see how the tension and stress is going to grow this week. Because when Mercury and the sun meet up together, which, by the way, this will be, Wednesday through Saturday, we're feeling this. We're getting choices and options, different, new, right? And we have to make a decision. I have written down Thursday is the big day. And probably out of all these days, this would be the best day to make a decision, because this is when the sun and Mercury are literally exact on that day. There is this like straight knowing. There's no doubt. It's just very clear. It's spot on. That's on Thursday. New, different, rebellious. This would require a lot of communication, clear communication, being open to different ideas, being open to testing things out and not completely shutting down different and new. Be flexible is the recommendation for this time. Otherwise, what you end up having is this rebelliousness, which means we can be rebellious just to be rebellious. Because, quite frankly, it'll be coming from somebody else who believes they have the authority over us. And that's like, we're like, oh, hell no, right? So this can be tricky energy. This is a week of learning how to pivot and most definitely to be cautious with our words because Mercury's pretty quick. So once we can get past Saturday, right? This is the time. Once you can get past the Saturday stuff, you'll be all clear. Over on the other side, we have Jupiter at the same time in a nice, beautiful trine with Saturn energy. This can be really confident energy. This can be wise actions. It's Saturn in Aries energy. So we have wise and considered actions for a Jupiter trining Saturn. This is the entire week. So it is this connection, the greater benefic. It is Jupiter. It is the connection with Saturn, which is thinking about the long-term plan and what would be the best method and to have a plan because the rewards can come when you work with disciplined action with Saturn energy. If you have a plan, if you've thought it through and you were thinking down the line as opposed to just being spontaneous and popping off and being impatient, then that's going to be challenged more. Saturn does not reward when we are spontaneous and just break out of and beyond the rules and the regulations. Saturn says you need to be wise and you need to follow the steps. So with that said, I feel like the combination and the rebelliousness that might pop up, I think Saturn and Jupiter can help keep it tame for this week. Mars and Saturn in a strong square by the end of the week. And that basically is also saying follow the rules. If you have disciplined actions, then you'll be okay. But Mars will be impulsive and fired up because it's in its emotions. It's in Cancer energy. So if we're acting like a child, Saturn's going to say, go sit in the corner. If we refuse to wait, Saturn's going to say, well, then you'll never get your turn. So if we have disciplined actions and we understand to expect delays this week, and even going into Monday and Tuesday, if you can expect those delays, like build them in and realize that is just the cycle we're in, then you'll be a lot less frustrated. There is an eclipse on the 28th. So that takes you pretty much to Friday that you have that eclipse. And that is a lunar eclipse. Now, there's a separate video for this. You want more details, you can go check that video out. I go deep dive on that. But for this lunar eclipse, 4 degrees in the Pisces energy, 4 degrees, that's emotions again, that's home, that's family, that's women energy. It brings about a wonderful opportunity to release the hurts and the wounds of the past. So forgiveness, there's an element of forgiveness that can be really beneficial, and it can help us to move forward because we're in a cycle of releasing and letting go. But this eclipse is a North Node eclipse. So it's almost as if the Pisces energy of surrender, of forgiveness, of understanding can actually be a vital ingredient in this North Node that says, let's move forward. So if you want more details, just go check out that video. But all in all, this is a lunar eclipse, which means it's a full moon eclipse. So we're releasing something from the past, and beliefs may be a big part of that.